Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, First Community Financial Bank, the community bank where you come first. Welcome back to Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette, and joining me now from Family Shelter Service are Lisa and Lisa. I got two Lisas with me. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Lisa, I'm going to start with you. You've used Family Shelter Service. Tell us how you got there.
I had one night, my ex-husband was arrested for domestic battery. I had been with him for 14 years, and the police, when they arrived, they informed me about Family Shelter Service and the order protection, that they were very insistent that I did go and follow up and obtain an emergency order protection. So they gave me the brochure. Family Shelter Service called me the very next day, and when I went to the courthouse Monday morning, the advocates that were there at the courthouse, they helped me obtain the emergency order protection, and then that lasted 21 days. And then they also helped me obtain a plenary order protection, which then was for an extended period of time, sometimes a year or two, depending on the judge and the situation.
Okay. I'm sorry that you came into connecting in that way, but it sounds like you were really there for her and really able to help. Yes. Now, you had children in that situation too. A Family Shelter Service has helped you with that and given some support to your children. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
My children were 4 and 8 at the time. So it was very difficult for them to understand what was happening, and they were able to, while I was in the domestic violence educational series, they were in their own groups that were age appropriate for them, and they had fun, and it was a nice environment and for their age to do activities and to focus in a way on what's a healthy relationship and what's not, and how to be safe, and they enjoyed it. My daughter also had received counseling that was very beneficial. She had an independent third party that knew about domestic violence and had that specialty, which means a lot when you're going to counseling, to have that specialty. I myself had maintained counseling for quite a while, and that also helped me to help them through the transition.
Yeah. It's not just you, it's them. And I know, Lisa, as the shelter director, you see a lot of children in this circumstance.
We really do.
Talk to us a little bit about what you're doing, the services that you offer, and how that's helping and impacting the children.
We have services both, in our shelter program as well as our non-residential, and the services can be provided based on really what the family needs. So depending on the age of the child, it might be individual, like talk therapy. If they're a little bit younger, it might be more play therapy. Sometimes we do therapy as a family. And so there's a lot of different options depending on how comfortable mom is and what the children's level of understanding and talking is.
You're able to meet their needs.
We are.
What their needs are, you're able to kind of come together for that.
Yeah, and we have what Lisa's talking about is our mom and kids group, and domestic violence education is delivered in an age-appropriate way, and the mothers talk about a topic, let's just say safety, or identifying feelings or something like that. And then the children in age-appropriate ways do different activities and groups and things like that to get that same education. And the reason that we do the corresponding topics is so that mom can go home that night and talk to the kids about what they learned and start to apply it to their lives.
That's wonderful. And Lisa, when you were working with your children, I mean, it's tough because you're trying to heal yourself, and then you're also, as a mother, trying to heal and help your children. How has Family Shelter Service helped you specifically in that way?
Giving me guidance through my counseling, not only giving me guidance to Well, one of the big things was that I had to learn what was a healthy relationship and what wasn't, and then to be able to teach my children that, and to be able to know how to cope, and to not get most victims of domestic violence end up in another situation. They'll get away from one abuser and then continue that pattern. So it was most important for me to learn from the counseling services how to teach my children right from wrong, and to, be
break that cycle.
Support, to be a support for them and to break that cycle.
Yeah. Help them to express themselves. That's what's so important. And what we do is not about pitting one parent against the other. It's really just to focus on themselves and their feelings, and how to identify those feelings and help them to come up with different coping skills that work for them at their age.
Right. Because I would imagine as the children are doing better, that's helping you do better as well. So it really is full circle on that.
Right.
Now, Lisa, you offer other programs at Family Shelter Service. Can you tell us a little bit about some of those?
Sure. We have a shelter program, and in that program, the ladies get counseling, case management, different groups, education. We really focus on support, education, and safety. And outside of shelter, we have case management, counseling, support groups. We have groups that parents can participate in with their children. We have individual play therapy for the children. We do our prevention program is really growing, and we are maxed out.
Okay.
Really. We're really reaching out to colleges, high schools. We're getting into some middle schools now, really talking a lot about healthy relationships. And that's really important because it's really a growing need. It's something that's being talked about more often. And so I think it's always been there, but it's coming to the surface a little bit more. So we're really lucky to be able to get in there and start talking to the teenagers.
Ounce of prevention.
Absolutely.
Now, Lisa, you've come alongside. I love the fact that you've not only received services, but now you've come alongside and you're part of their Speakers Bureau.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about that. That's got to be a very interesting experience. What kinds of things are you doing?
I go out to different organizations. I did a lot of work this year with the United Way with their kickoff campaign, and I got a lot of feedback, and other members of the United Way that were doing the kickoff campaign for their corporations. They invited me into their corporations, and so I would be able to speak. It's very powerful of an impact that you have, because I'm not the norm. What people would see as a victim or survivor of domestic violence. People have their, and it's not all about broken bones and bruises. Right. There were isolated instances over the course, but I do enjoy it. I like sharing my story. I think it's very important. It educates a lot of people, and one of my goals is to reach out and speak at the high school level, and because there are a lot of children that are in middle schools and in high school that the teachers are talking about, saying that they're hearing the effects on girls speaking, and it also happens to violence, also happens to men in relationships.
So I would think that's very empowering for you, and a part of that whole healing process again.
It is. It's important for people to hear it. You could talk about it all day long, but when you have someone that actually experienced it, it makes a lot more of an impact on the education and the knowledge, and I enjoy it. I really do, because I'm a talker. I'm a talker as it is. So
good for you.
I like sharing my story because I think it's very important. A lot of people don't talk about it. So
and that helps.
It does.
Communication is the first part of it, right? Now you have a 40th anniversary year. We're kind of wrapping up here, running out of time, but just give us the quick highlight.
The quick highlight is that we are celebrating our 40th anniversary along with our annual gala, and we're really excited about it. We are celebrating the culture of 1976, and this year it's going to be at the Embassy Suites in Naperville. Fun, food, 70s band, and so we're really looking forward to it, and more information can be found on our website.
That's wonderful, and all of those proceeds will go to support the wonderful work that you're doing. So I thank you for stopping by, and if you would like to help Family Shelter Service transform lives by offering help and hope to those affected by domestic violence, please visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We're coming right back.